Ready, Check Radio.
Stand by as we get ready to serve up all your news this week in the world of gaming. Welcome to Gaming Gumbo. Why, hello, Internet. It is Saturday. It is 7 p.m. Eastern. That means here on Ready Check Radio, it's time for Gaming Gumbo, your weekly gaming wrap-up. It's nice to be back live here, twitch.tv/Ready Check Radio on a Saturday night. We've had a couple of them off, and we're going to have a couple shows in a row here, and then we'll miss one in like mid-July. But we're fine until then. We're back, and there's been so much as far as video game shows over the last week and a half that we've got an awful lot to talk about. I'm your host, Mike Byrne, aka Magic Man. It's episode 92. If you're watching on YouTube, listening on Spotify, iTunes, Audible, all those places, thank you so much. We appreciate it. Give it a thumbs up, a like, a subscribe, turn on notifications, all the stuff you got to do to feed the algorithm. But most importantly, if you like what we do, tell a friend. Joining me, one of my friends, Mr. Dom Greco. What's up, sir?
Hello, how are you?
I'm well. Welcome back. Thank
you. Yep.
The three of us chatted yesterday on MMO Bomb's Always Online podcast.
We did. It was very nice being there. Thank you for having me.
And then the three of us, including Mr. Troy Blackburn, the Noob Fridge, get to chat once again. How are you, Troy?
It feels like I've been forever since I've been on this show.
So I was. What's funny is Yad in the background. Behind the scenes, I think it was last week when he was like, "Hey, I don't think I can do a show this week if there's a show." And I was like, "No, there is no show. I'm going to be in Canada." And he's like, "Oh, okay." And Dom, I think you did the same thing. You were like, "I can't do this week." I'm like, "Dude, guys, there's no show this week. Everybody's fine." And Yad chimes in with, "Hey, is Troy no longer doing the show?" And I was like, "No, Troy's doing the show. Why?" And he was like, "Oh, well, we've had these like breaks where everybody was off because of, Final Fantasy trading card game. But in between, it was like Dom, me, and you." And I said, "Oh, yeah." I said, "Well, there was a run there where he was like on every Always Online podcast on MMO Bomb side of things. So I was trying to give him as many Gaming Gumbos off as I could, just as like, because he gets paid for that. He doesn't get paid for this. So I was trying to like take it off of his schedule. He's still here. Believe it or not, he's still here. He's still here. But gents, we kind of dived into very specifically the multiplayer aspect of all the different shows this past week and a half, right? The week that was not E3, with the Summer Game Fest, the Xbox Showcase, the Ubisoft Forward, like they just over and over, tons of them, the Future Game Show, all that stuff. And there was so much dropped that we can't possibly cover it all, right? But there are some big ones that I want to hit. We did kind of mention them yesterday, but Troy, I know you have a take on one that I really would like you to get a little more in detail on why, because we kind of skimmed it a little bit being single player. But so here's what I think we'll do, gentlemen. I picked three that I think are like big announcements, and I feel like we should spend a few minutes with some thoughts on those. But then we're going to go through the Xbox show, the Summer Game Fest, Capcom, Ubisoft Forward, Future Game Show. We're not going to talk about every game there, but we will hit some of the highlights of those shows. And if there were smaller things that you guys really wanted to bring to the forefront, let's just have some fun and talk some games.
Sure.
Why not? I mean, it's a game show, right?
Show about games. Let's talk about games.
Is it a game show or a show about games?
It is a show about games where sometimes we play games.
Can you surprise us one week and turn it into a game show?
I have done that on both Always Online and the Relic Grind. I have not done it here on Gaming Gumbo yet, but yes, absolutely. So the first B-roll I've got up is Fable, which kind of came out of nowhere, kicking off the Xbox showcase. And honestly, I'm going to tell you, I couldn't quite figure out what the trailer was for as we were watching the trailer, and I kind of was like, well, I mean, it looks like it could be a Fable game, like really close to the end. And I was like, oh, okay, it is a Fable game. So, yeah, a new Fable game is coming. The trailer was pretty funny. Like it was.
Yeah.
I thought there were some neat beats in there and some neat writing. But
That's what I was gonna say. Is I really thought the humor landed, whether you realized at first it was Fable or not. At least going back and knowing that it's Fable, I really enjoyed the trailer for what it is.
are you a Fable guy, Troy? Again,
Not
like you're
particularly.
not like a console dude all that often.
Yeah, not really a console dude all that much. So, not a huge Fable guy, but I will have to say I did enjoy this trailer quite a bit.
Even though like it really doesn't show anything, right? Like
Yeah, like
one
it's
either
nothing,
one
but
dude,
I did enjoy
either the dude's a
it could be
giant or
writing.
the other's like a very tiny person. Like you're not sure which is which, but
Yeah,
you know, we're gonna go with he's a giant, I guess. Dave here, a vegetable enthusiast.
yeah, I assume so because I'm assuming that's where the giant pumpkins and stuff came from. Is
Yeah.
from him. So
Yeah. Dom, are you a Fable guy?
I'm not. I own it. One of them on Steam. I was gonna play it at some point, but you know how I get around to games. You know that never happens with me. But the reason I was going to get into is our mutual friend Indy Garona.
Yeah.
She is a huge Fable fan.
Mm-hmm.
And she keeps telling me it's a series that she thinks I would enjoy. And after watching this trailer, and it's just like this has like, and I mentioned yesterday on the Always Online that I just started rewatching Gallivant, and like this just screams Gallivant to me. Like it has that same kind of like in your face, like fourth wall breaking humor, and I love it. So I may have to check this out.
I don't know. And so I really enjoyed the first Fable. What was it? Original Xbox, I think? Or was it Xbox 360? I don't quite remember the year it came out. Somebody in chat can remind me whether it was the original. I mean, it was like early 2000s, so it had to be the original Xbox, right? OG Xbox? Yeah, cool. Thank you. So I really enjoyed the first Fable. I kind of dabbled in the second Fable, but I never beat it. And then from there, I just fell out because Peter Molyneux is a liar. Like he's just. I mean, I don't know a nicer way to say it, right? And I don't know, is he involved in this one or not?
That I don't know.
Because he's always talked about Fable, so I would assume, like, working on a new Fable and stuff like that. So I would assume he's officially involved, but I don't know in what capacity, if he's involved at all. Chat's saying no, that he's not.
Okay.
Fable, Peter Molyneux. Remember Black and White? That was a great game.
Mm-hmm.
Peter Molyneux, new Fable. He has a few suggests for Fable 4. He wants freedom to remain a key part of the future of Fable. But yeah, it's kind of like people are just interviewing him about it. So maybe he's just not involved in it. Which maybe gives me... Yeah, well, I know Lionhead doesn't exist anymore. Yeah, but that doesn't mean they can't bring him in as a consultant or a designer of some type or anything like that. It is absolutely a new studio. I will say this, though. The trailer, while fun, and I liked the trailer... I don't know if I actually like the aesthetic, Troy, as far as sitting there and playing a game for hours on end in that aesthetic. I thought, as fun as a trailer it was, the character models were a little weird for me. They were a little weird. I don't know if the art was just for me, is maybe what it is.
And is it going to kind of throw some people off that it's not the more cartoony kind of look,
Yeah.
even though it's a new age, we can do more graphically. Maybe sometimes you shouldn't. Maybe sometimes you should stick with the aesthetic that your game series is kind of known for.
Yeah.
As long as it brings back the cool magic stuff, I go back to like what made Fable 1. Fable 3 got like so experimental on my ass that I think I played it for 5 minutes. And I was like, yeah, I'm done. And then Fable the Lost Chapters, like whatever. Fable 1 and Fable 2 was where it was at for me. If this follows in those lines, I'm good. I'm in. But I'm going to have to see a lot more because honestly, Fable has burnt, I think Fable has burnt so many of us for a while now, Dom.
Yeah. No,
just
absolutely.
As a franchise.
Part of it too is like we saw just a tiny little bit of gameplay, but a lot of the trailers and stuff that we saw here throughout the course of all the reveals are a lot of cinematic trailers.
Yeah.
And it's hard because like you sit there and go, well, this looks interesting, But you could say that about any cutscene in the history of ever, right? I need to judge a game by the gameplay.
Yeah,
And if
what's
you're
the
not
game
showing
actually
me
gonna
the
look like?
gameplay, yeah. If you're not showing me the gameplay, then I don't know if I even want to play your game. Like, you've hooked me on the story aspect, but that's like watching a movie trailer, right?
See,
Well, there's a prime example of that right now in Avowed, where we got the cinematic trailer a year ago, and it was dark and gritty, and now you're seeing some gameplay footage, and it's all colorful and a little, I wouldn't call it cartoony, but it's kind of leaning that direction a little bit. I'm still interested, but a lot of people are turned off by that because that's not what they got in their head the first time they saw a cinematic trailer for it.
I will say this though, that I've for this particular one, and Microsoft was throwing a lot of shade around Sony not showing gameplay, and then kind of showed a smidge more across the show. But I was okay with this trailer being this way because this was them finally confirming out loud and showing you it's a real thing. Like, this is not their I'm going to sell you the game trailer, right? I'm going to show you the features. I'm going to show you. That wasn't this. This was, all right, we're done pussyfooting around this. Yes, Fable's on its way. Here you go. Confirmation type trailer. So I was kind of okay with it on that front.
Yeah. Yeah, I think it works in like bigger game reveals. But like there's another game here called South of Midnight, right? The trailer
that
looked great.
looked incredible.
How good does that look?
It looked
Oh
great.
my god!
But how does it play? I don't know.
Right?
Yeah, I don't even know what type of game it is.
Yeah, that's my point. Like, it looks good. I want to like it, but if
that trailer,
all of a sudden they show it and it turns into like a pixel game, like, I wouldn't want to play it. You know what I mean? Like,
the animation was just spooky. It was spot on. Like, the character designs were unique without being like garish. That was, in a very swamp bayou theme going on, and who they're talking to there. I don't want to spoil anything. Go watch it. It's a great trailer. But yeah, to your point, it could be a new Tetris as far as I know. I don't know.
I might be okay with that.
It's Tetris with a very, very wild skin. Very wild skin. Hey, one of the other big ones this past week was, of course, Star Wars Outlaws, published by Ubisoft, your boys and girls over at Ubisoft, and developed by, Massive, I think? Yeah. Star Wars Outlaws. I just want to make sure it's massive. It's massive. It's massive. Yes,
Yeah,
Massive Entertainment. Yeah. So this one's taking place in between Empire Strikes Back and Return of the Jedi. We kind of got like a very smuggler-esque storyline. So kind of like, let's capitalize on the Han Solo experience, but not have you control Han Solo. Let's do that. Let's do that. And we got Nyx in here, this little creature that's running around with our main character the entire time, who's kind of being, the old smuggler themselves. What'd you think of this one, Dom?
I like that it's a companion that's like a live companion as opposed to like a robot, like we had with the Jedi Survivor and or whatever the other.
There's always got to be a companion, right? Oh,
yeah, there has to be. I mean, that's kind of a staple of Star Wars. And I think, like, really looking at this, and I'm excited for this. I did watch like the footage, the gameplay footage as well. I'm really excited for it, and I think one of the smartest things, and I don't know if this was a decision on Disney's behalf or LucasArts or whatever, but like not sticking to one publisher and just licensing out the IP to different publishers and stuff like that is probably the smartest move they've ever made. Because otherwise we'd be stuck in the era, like you look back and like we'd be stuck in the era of EA, you know, and it's like you wouldn't have all these other games to be able to come out and like all different things and people get their own takes and spins on it. This is one of the best things that could have happened to this, this franchise.
Yeah, well, and I mean, EA kind of screwed their own pooch there, didn't they, Troy, with Battlefront 2? And that's kind of what made Disney go, you know what, maybe we're gonna go ahead and look at you having the exclusive license here. But since then, though, we've had multiple projects, including single-player open-world stuff that there's a huge appetite for, and then all of a sudden, Jedi Fallen Order comes out, it's well-received, it sells well, and EA is like, oh, shit, yeah, people did want this. Okay, fine, yeah, no problem. But we have seen project canceled over the last couple of years too, and
Mhm.
for good and bad and unknown reasons. This one's slated for 2024. That's really like all we know. I just want a Nyx. I want one of those little guys.
Yeah.
I don't know if you guys know this. Nyx is actually voiced by D. Bradley Baker. Do you know who that is?
Mm-mm.
D. Bradley Baker is a voice actor that has done so much Star Wars stuff.
No.
So much. He does every single clone trooper in the Clone Wars, like all of them, and in the spin-off, The Bad Batch. He does 11 or so characters in the Star Wars Resistance show. And on the game side of things, he was in Star Wars Jedi Knights, Jedi Academy, and he played characters in Star Wars The Clone Wars, Republic Heroes, The Force Unleashed, its sequel, Clone Wars Adventures, The Old Star Wars The Old Republic, Kinetic Star Wars, Boba Fett in Disney's Infinity, Star Wars Battlefront, and its sequel, Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order. So if you've played a Star Wars game, you've heard his voice. But really, all you're gonna hear is like little grunts and beeps and noises from him because he's playing Nyx. He's playing Nyx. That dude's awesome.
I love that. It's like when they brought like Clooney in on South Park to bark like a dog.
Yeah.
Like.
Yeah. I can't wait for this one. It does leave me in like a mixed spot though, like very much in that Activision spot, Dom, where it's like I don't want to give Ubisoft money. I just don't want to give massive. Fine. I want to support them. But sadly, so like this may not be, unless it's on Game Pass, this is going to be multi-platform, right? This one was not exclusive to the Xbox or anything. But so it's, probably won't be on Game Pass. But if it's there, I'll go ahead and play it. If not, I might pick this one up used. Just Ubisoft just leaves the bad taste in my mouth for the employee treatment stuff that Activision does too.
Yep.
But damn, as a Star Wars fanboy, that's such a hard... Like, that's harder for me, Troy, than not buying Diablo 4. That's so hard.
Especially when it looks like it's going to be an interesting story, going the smuggler route, not lightsabers and Jedi and stuff. You got an opportunity to tell a really different story this time around.
Yeah, I'm all for it. Are we going to see any classic characters from the OG trilogy, do you think? I mean, obviously, in between Empire and Return of the Jedi, we're probably not going to see Han unless we happen to just, hang out with Jabba a little bit and see Han on the wall. But, like Leia's, Luke's, any of those, are we going to bump into any of them, do you think?
See a Boba Fett or something like that sort of making an appearance, maybe, especially when you got the guy who does the voice for him in the game. I could see a little cameo of somebody.
Dom, care to make a prediction?
I want. I'm gonna butcher the name on this so bad. I want Jabba's little creature.
Salacious Crumb. Yeah. Salacious.
Yeah, I want him.
You just want the laugh.
That's all I want.
That's all. That's all. That's Damina's favorite Star Wars character from all the movies
Nice.
too, is Salacious Crumb. She's like, I love that little guy. I'm like, he is ugly as sin.
He's funny though.
How is he funny? All he does is laugh.
That's what's funny about him. How can it not be funny if he's laughing? He's having a great time.
I kind of agree with Takal in chat that it's probably going to be more of like a, hey, Luke walked by type thing. Like, we're not going to heavily interact with those characters, but like little fan nods.
Absolutely. It'll be cameos.
Exactly.
A little appearance.
Yeah.
I'd like to see more like expanded universe characters that we know, like, maybe Prince Shizor makes an appearance or something, like things like that.
But he's dead though, because that's
in this timeline?
That's pre-Empire.
I thought he existed between Empire and Jedi.
I thought whole Empires was in between New Hope and Empire, and
no,
Vader
Shadows
kills
of the
him at
Empire.
end.
Don't you remember the N64 game? It takes place
I
at the
know.
Battle of Hoth. It starts there.
Oh yeah. You're right.
Yeah.
So I guess that could. I mean, you could. Yeah. I want a
IG-88,
Thrawn game. I want a
know?
Thrawn
Bosk.
game. No, give me a Thrawn game.
Oh, once he makes his appearance in Ahsoka, you're gonna get all kinds of Thrawn stuff.
I bet. I can't wait. Thrawn was always one of my favorite alt universe characters. And now some of his stories aren't even canon. But that's okay, because Timothy Zahn wrote new stories that are canon. So go.
I mean,
That's
if this is a smuggler game, though, we have to do the bounty hunters. You get Bosk, Dengar,
Yeah,
IG-88,
IG-88,
Boba.
yeah.
You know, yeah.
Makes sense. Well, I mean, the way they preface this, and like, we're talking about it, like, she's not actually a bounty hunter. She just kind of accidentally gets into that lifestyle and then is like, oh yeah, this is a good lifestyle and I want this lifestyle, and then pursues it. So it seems like we're going to be taking somebody that is not a Han Solo, is just normal everyday person trying to make a living, and then they're like, you know what, I want to be a criminal, which I'm all for. Let's do it. The third really big one, we'll get this out of the way, Troy. Starfield. September 6th, coming out. So we've only got a few months, a little less than 3 months. This will also be a day one Game Pass title. Much anticipated. If you liked Mass Effect, you've probably been watching Starfield. Will it actually come out on the 6th? Yeah, I think so.
Yeah?
Yeah, I mean, this one's already been delayed, even though they didn't give official dates for the original, but it was a delay to the game. So I think the 6th. Will it work? I don't know. It's Bethesda, so
it is Bethesda.
who knows how much of it'll work. Single player RPG. They talked about all the customization you could want, whether it's on the character side of things, your ship. They even show in one of the videos, because there was a whole 40-minute deep dive after the Xbox showcase into just Starfield, and they showed them building ships, and not only can you customize different bits and bobs and equipment and stats and stuff on the ship, but they literally built a whole ship that just looked like Optimus Prime, made out of just big crates, and then they had its feet rocket thrust and they had it take off. Just incredible customization. Want to go to a planet? Yeah, go there. Now, we've heard all this stuff with No Man's Sky before, and games that have tried to do this. Now Bethesda taking its crack at it. Troy, I guess we'll start with you. How pumped are you for Starfield?
Starfield is just not doing it for me. I'm just not seeing anything that's making me scream, "Oh my God, I have to play this game on day one. I've got to be ready to go." It looks like Fallout 4 meets No Man's Sky. It's Bethesda, so we know it's going to be buggy, and we know it's going to be broken. We know it's not going to work on day one. I'm just not feeling it for Starfield. I'm not saying it's going to be a bad game. I'm not saying that it's going to be the worst game ever. It's just not done anything for me thus far.
You like single player RPG type experiences. You like games in space. You like building ships and vehicles in various games and having customization over that and your character. You like exploration games. How is this not tailor-made for Troy?
It's just what they've shown so far just hasn't excited me. They haven't shown anything. Like, the customization looks cool, and yeah, I would enjoy customizing a ship, but I'm not one of those super creative types that are going to make Optimus Prime and throw it into space. So I'm not going to make anything cool like that. Mine's going to look like a thrown together piece of junk hurtling through the atmosphere.
Yeah, but that's your story then. You are you're the character that just, hey, I had a few pieces of string and some tin cans. So
threw them together. Let's go.
Gummy ship.
I can't believe you are. Not only are you like, I want to wait to see more. You are like, no, I'm just no. And I am like, so yes, it's not even funny.
I'm right
I
in the middle.
know it's gonna be broken. Like, I know that going into it, and I know I need to be tempered because of things like No Man's Sky that made all of these same promises and is only now, years later, finally starting to deliver some of those promises to players. But it was too late for me. I never went back. I am certainly worried that this may do the same thing. 100%. But everything, like that 40-minute showcase afterwards, I was just like, oh.
Like making a bowl of popcorn sitting
I
down.
was.
Yeah.
I rewound it a couple of times. I'm like, no way. Let me see that again.
Oh, no.
I'm super pumped for Starfield. I was always interested in it, even when there was a shot at it coming out late last year. according to some rumors, which turned out to be false, obviously. But I was interested in it then. Now I'm super interested in it. And then, Dom, you said you're kind of right in between Troy and I here.
Yeah, I'm in the middle. Like, it doesn't look like a bad game. It looks like something I might kind of enjoy. It's not really my style game, and we know my track record, right? If I say I'm going to play it, I'm probably not going to play it.
I don't know, man. I was a
know?
huge Mass Effect guy. And
Yeah.
so, yeah, give me more of it, right? That type of single RPG, just do whatever you want. And I was one of the few that actually liked some aspects of Mass Effect that did not make it into Mass Effect 2 and 3. Because like I like just taking off to a planet, landing, exploring, and in some cases finding nothing, right?
Yeah.
Because that's space. That's space. There isn't something exciting and amazing on every single planet that you're going to land on. In fact, you may have a hard time finding planets, right? Like that's space. And I know some of that was taken out in Mass Effect. Like Yod, I'm sure, is interested in this. I see him in chat. He's like, it's Bethesda. It's going to be broken. There's a ton of promises here. I know. I am tempering. This is me tempering my enthusiasm for the game. Could you imagine if this wasn't Bethesda? If this was somebody I had a little more faith in? Like, oh my God, I wouldn't have a shirt on right now.
We run around, swing, go woo! Look at that.
Oh my God.
I do like that it's Game Pass, Troy. Day one.
Of course.
That saves some dollars to check it out for
That
sure.
definitely saves
Especially now
some
that I am
dollars.
a Game Pass guy.
Yeah, that totally saved me some Redfall money. I'm just going to let you know.
Yeah. Amen to that.
That totally saved me some Redfall money.
Played a couple hours of Redfall and I was like, well, I can just be done with this now.
You haven't gone back?
Played
No, I haven't been back.
a
I know
whole
they've
0
released the
minutes of
patches
it.
and stuff, but I haven't been back. I got a friend who's interested in checking it out. So probably when he jumps in again with some of the new patches and stuff they've released and some of the things they've said they fixed, I'll probably check it out again at some point, but it just hasn't been anything that's on my radar right now.
So as editor-in-chief of MMO Bomb, you know, I have to proofread articles and make assignments and stuff like that, and also think about, you know, SEO value, but I don't like clickbait, so I kind of find ways to straddle that line, you know. Much to our detriment, we just don't do clickbait. It's just not our thing. And so there are times like I'll read an article from Troy and I'm like, your headline's kind of lame. And I'll say, hey, Troy, do something with that headline. It's boring. And he'll come back with something else and it's fine. There are other times when I'm like, that headline's not going to cut it. And I ain't sending it back because I got it right in my head what needs to go there. So on the Redfall Update 1.1 article that they just released this past week on the 12th, Troy had just a pretty basic headline, right? You know, that they put this update out there. I changed it to Redfall Update 1.1 aims to make the AI not as dumb, the open world more dangerous, and stabilize things a bit. I figured that's pretty accurate. That is not clickbait, my friends.
Yeah.
Make the AI not as dumb, the open world more dangerous. What else did we see? So let's go with the Xbox game show. We saw Star Wars. We talked about South of Midnight, and that just looks incredible. But I have no clue. I mean, they just said, hey, the tone of the game is macabre. Okay. I believe you.
Yeah.
33 Immortals looks a little interesting, I think. And Troy, this is one we might have to actually cover at MMO Bomb, but I didn't even kind of register that when I was watching the show.
Yeah.
It was a 33-player co-op. And it was just like top-down dudes running everywhere, taking on enemies. It looked kind of interesting.
Yeah, it just says pick up and raid. So
yeah.
My question is, can you group? Can you get 32 other friends in a party and go, or are you just queuing with 32 random people?
That's gotta be random, right?
Yeah, but even if I wanted to play with like 2 or 3 people, like, can I do that? Like, these are the things I need to know going into it. You know?
Sure. Troy, keep an eye on that one. Maybe do up an article on it next week.
Okay.
Payday 3. Yeah, we knew that one was coming, so we got a little bit there. Persona 3 Reload, finally seeing some of those over on the Xbox. And then Avowed, Troy, you kind of already talked about maybe that not being received as well as it originally was.
Yeah, I'm still interested in it myself because the art style doesn't bother me, but I understand that it's not what it's very clear why some people had something else in their head.
So you're going to play a first-person fantasy title, but you aren't going to play Starfield.
Right.
You're confusing me. You like RPGs. Sea of Thieves is doing a little The Legend of Monkey Island kind of new content thing. The only thing I thought that was I love Monkey Island. The only thing I thought was interesting here, though, Dom, was that Ron Gilbert, the creator of Monkey Island, didn't know they were doing this.
What? How does that even happen?
Well, I mean, he doesn't work on it anymore, but
I guess.
like he was given a heads up like briefly before it was revealed. He was not like consulted in any way or was not like participating in the creation of or providing guidance for. Like he was just as surprised as everybody else. He was like, I do wish it luck. I like the game. I'm not speaking ill of it, but I was not involved in any way, nor was I asked to be.
That would be like making a 7th and 8th Star Wars movie and not cluing in George Lucas.
Oh, wait a minute. Hey, Microsoft Flight Sim 2024, and then also the current Flight Sim getting a Dune expansion. So if you like those like hummingbird vehicles from Dune, that's going to be
like
pretty
that.
sweet. Yeah. I'm
The
crashing.
Dragonfly helicopter was really cool.
Yeah, it was. I'm crashing 747s. I can certainly crash these. Not a problem.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Senua's Saga Hellblade 2. Am I the only one that just doesn't care anymore? I feel like I've been seeing trailers for these forever.
It was just it was such a critical game that reviewed critically well that it's been everywhere ever since it came out. All you ever see is how good it is, and it just maybe they've oversaturated the market.
I don't know. Anything else? I guess you want to talk Overwatch 2 a little bit there, Dom.
I mean, it looks good. I'm excited for it. Like, I know you're upset about the money. I'm not happy about the money, like having to put $15 down to play the PV, but it's what I wanted out of it. I didn't care so much about talent trees and all these other bells and whistles. Like, I know other people were excited for it. I don't need that. I just want the story. The trailer was very story action packed, so it's got everything I was looking for. August 10th, not too far away, so
I guess.
I don't know.
Whatever.
I was more interested though in the rock climbing one. What was it? Jusant or something?
Yeah, Jusant. Yeah.
Yeah. And
that's from Don't Nod. I like Don't Nod.
Yeah, it looked really very relaxing, kind of interesting. And the other one that really piqued was the Still Wakes the Deep.
Yeah, I was going to bring that one up because that looks like it could be very Lovecraftian, which immediately piques my interest. But they didn't really show a lot in the trailer. It's just enough that I'm like going to watch it now.
Yeah,
and kind of see where it goes.
It's just kind of like, is this survival horror out in the middle of the ocean? Because I'm all for it.
Yeah,
I'm absolutely all for it. And then Cyberpunk's getting Phantom Liberty, Keanu Reeves coming back to reprise the role there. And who knows, maybe this expansion will work. I know they've improved it. Shut up. We all remember how it launched. Summer Game Fest. Troy, what did you see at Summer Game Fest that really tickled your fancy?
Summer Game Fest. Let's see. Path of Exile 2 gameplay was pretty to look at. There wasn't a lot of it, but we're going to get a lot more on the 28th of July. So it'll be interesting to see because they're going to full reveal that thing apparently then. So it'll be interesting to check that out. Lies of P has been very popular, the demo on Twitch. I've seen a lot of people playing that on YouTube, on Twitch, and really enjoying that. And Alan Wake 2. I will always be interested in Alan Wake 2.
You're also watching Warhaven too, more for the MMO bomb side of things, and eventually doing a first look. But I know you like battling and having sword and board. That's something Jason Winters wanted for a while, is like actual sword and board. And we've actually been able to check that one out a little bit. So,
and some of the abilities in the newest trailer, where a guy just takes a shield and just charges across the battlefield and stuff, like some of that stuff looks like me. Like I could see myself being like, yeah, this is it right here, buddy. I'm just gonna charge through everybody, knock them all back.
we had already known and reported on like a week ahead of the show that Nick Cage was coming to Dead by Daylight, and they had him there. Did you see that portion of the show, Dom?
I did not. No, I missed that.
Maybe it was just me. I thought it was really uncomfortable and awkward. Like,
I mean, isn't that just Nick Cage?
No, more so than I expected for a Nick Cage moment. Like,
he was there because he was contractually obligated.
He said that he was.
What is it Marshawn Lynch said during the Super Bowl? I'm here so they don't find me.
Yeah, he said that he was doing it because his kid likes the game.
I would imagine though, it was such like it's kind of like a needed thing now with like the reception that Keanu got for like originally with Cyberpunk. Like they want to create some of these big moments again on stage. So from what it sounds like, this was not it.
What'd you think of some of the titles there at Summer Games?
Mortal Kombat. I like seeing the actual gameplay.
Yeah.
Oh, that's one that I've really been looking for.
They showed like the transition from like cutscene into fighting, and it was like the full environment that they were in. The cutscene there was no blackout or anything. The camera just pivoted in the environment. That was really slick.
Started doing that. They started doing that with I think 10, but it's so smooth now.
Yeah,
so smooth. Yeah.
Do you like the cameo thing where other fighters jump in and sort of help
like the tag team? Yeah. The tag team game mode. Yeah, it looked really interesting. I'm excited for it. That's one that it's not a Mario Rabbids where it's like I want to play it and I'm gonna play it and it's sitting here and it's a prop on my desk at this point. I'm actually gonna play Mortal Kombat when it comes out. I don't care. Like,
I'll believe it when I see it.
No, I'm doing it.
Hey, Lord of the Rings: Return to Moria is another Lord of the Rings game coming out, and I mean, it wouldn't be hard to be better than Gollum, so let's wish it luck on that front. Pal World, if you're looking for Pokemon, except you're using guns, January 2024. That's one Dom's been watching.
I have, and I rewatched the trailer again today, right? And I love one of the comments is like something along the lines of like how close this is to like Nintendo, and you can tell which redacted it looks like.
Yeah,
and it's just like, oh my god, like I don't know how they're not sued at this point or taken down or
Dom's
whatever.
Camera froze and it's amazing.
Yeah.
The camera froze.
It's absolutely amazing. It's trying to reconnect now.
Yes, no?
It's trying to reconnect now. We should have it in a second there. We also saw Final Fantasy VII Rebirth coming next year on 2 discs. If you want some opinions on that, head over to the Relic Grind from Thursday, and we'll give you all of our opinions on that. Then we had Capcom Showcase, and we're doing these in no particular order. Freaking Dragon's Dogma 2, Troy. That's where it's all about. Can I get you on some Dragon's Dogma at least?
I will have to say the Capcom Showcase was probably my least paid attention to, and the one that I care the least about.
You didn't really miss much. I liked Dragon's Dogma 2, and I liked Exoprimal. But there are 2 things I was already watching. I mean, there's Ghost Trick Phantom Detective. And then they gave a little bit of Ace Attorney trilogy stuff and some Pragmata stuff. But give me some Exoprimal. I streamed it again, the beta, this past weekend. Dom's camera is still off. Just look at it clocking. I wonder if he lost internet connection, because now I can't hear him either. It wasn't me. It wasn't me. It was him.
Mike's just happy it wasn't him.
Dude, I'm not going to lie. When I saw it freeze in Streamlabs, I was like, oh, God. And then I turned and I looked
It's
at Discord
happening.
and I was like, it's his camera. Sweet. Sweet. What else? Oh, Ubisoft Forward. Well, you saw what you said was the best thing you've seen about Skull and Bones the entire time so far.
It was the sea shanty. The sea shanty was really good. Too bad the game's gonna be garbage.
That's another one that are you disappointed by that? Because that's another one that I could see, man, you really wanting a good open world pirate thing. Like,
Yeah,
Sea
and
of Thieves didn't do it for you.
Too.
We didn't go back to Sea of Thieves, first impressions, yada, yada.
Yeah, but I definitely, when they first announced this, I was all aboard. My Discord group, we were like, yeah, let's add this to like the games feed in the Discord so that we can keep up with the game and stuff like that. So we were keeping up with it, and then it just started looking worse and worse and worse. And, it's still in the games feed there, but nobody talks about it. Nobody pays any attention to it other than the sea shanty video.
I don't know. We're going to get a beta soon.
Well, it will just either confirm or deny everything that we think we know.
When is that?
I got a bad feeling this is going to confirm everything we think we know.
Here's Game Rant saying new Skull and Bones beta comes with a big catch. But it comes, gamers will finally be able to play Ubisoft's long-delayed Skull and Bones project in an upcoming closed beta, but it comes with one big catch. The game's been subject to numerous delays. Well, what's the catch? Why are your articles so dumb? The beta, however, will not be available for consoles and will only be on PC. While signups for the closed beta were originally available for the PS5 and the Xbox Series X on the website, Ubisoft has since removed them, giving the report of a console delay more credibility. Furthermore, a developer on the game told the site that the beta was never actually intended for consoles.
Sounds about right.
Because why the hell would you beta test your game on consoles?
Yeah, right. Well, let this PC folks just do it for you.
That can't bode well. Like that can't.
No, nothing about this game bodes well. There's nothing about the history of this game. What we hear about what's going on in the background, what we see in any what little snippets of gameplay and stuff like that we've seen. There's nothing positive about this game out there right now.
I'm sure Dom has something to say positive about it since he's back. Welcome back.
Hi, what game are we talking about?
Exactly. Skull and Bones, Ubisoft Forward.
Skull and Bones. I want to like it. I want to, but they're not giving me any reasons to.
I will say Prince of Persia: The Lost Crown looked awesome.
Oh my god, did it ever.
I love Prince of Persia as a series. And I wish they wouldn't have gone with this art aesthetic. I wish they would have harkened back to updated PS2 Sands of Time, that style, just in an updated HD format, but I can live with it. I love the Prince of Persia series, and some of the abilities here look so freaking cool.
I do, even though the art aesthetic, but I do remember when I was watching the trailer, I don't know if they didn't announce that it was Prince of Persia or I just missed, but I was seeing the trailer and I was like, man, is this Prince of Persia? So I guess they kind of nailed the Prince of Persia.
Dude, that is
sort of feel
really
of the game.
weird that you say that, because Demina, while I was watching the show, I had to watch it later. And so I hit play on it, and Demina was sitting at her desk, and I was watching this on my other monitor, and I was like, I wasn't paying attention. It was white noise. Trailer came up, and I was like, oh, man, that looks cool. And she was like, what is it? And I said, I don't know. I mean, it looks like it could be a new Prince of Persia or something. And then all of a sudden, same exact thing, Troy. And I was like, well, I mean, to your point, yeah, I guess, because both of us were like, that's a Prince of Persia game.
Yeah, that looks like a Prince of Persia game.
What did you guys think of Avatar?
Oh, so I'm sitting here watching this. I'm watching it with one of my friends, and I'm like, this game looks beautiful. I'm not a huge fan of the story of Avatar. Even the story of the game didn't sound too intriguing to me. But the world is just beautiful, and the gameplay looks smooth. Everything looks great about it, and I'm sitting here going, I really hope this is multiplayer. I really hope this is multiplayer. And then like the final thing that they were announcing was that there's going to be co-op multiplayer for the campaign. I'm like, okay, I'm sold. I'm playing this.
It does look gorgeous.
Mm-hmm.
It does look pretty. I couldn't care less about Avatar. I haven't even bothered watching the second movie on Disney Plus.
I haven't seen it yet either.
All right, let's finish up with what show do we have left? Oh, Future Games. Future Games Showcase. Future Games Showcase. So there's something that's making me a little sad right now that was shown off at Future Games. Why this was at Future Games, I'm not exactly sure. It was a new trailer from Bloober for Layers of Fear. Not really a future game at that point. Went ahead and already came out. It's not doing so hot on the review side of things. It's not doing so hot, and it's making me a little sad, Dom.
Yeah.
I have not picked it up yet, but it's also weird. IGN 6 out of 10. GameSpot 5 out of 10. PC Gamer 90%.
What?
Okay.
PC Gamer saying the first two games receive a deft remake into one package with new story to tie them elegantly together. GameSpot, on the other hand, says Bloober Team's horror series is reimagined from the ground up, but the foundation still feels shaky. IGN says not quite fright. Little all over the place. All over the place. I love it.
Check it out regardless.
Yeah, I haven't yet. I'm not going to lie. I honestly forgot it came out.
I did too until today when I saw.
We were literally talking about it
streaming
on multiple shows. How we could not wait for this remake. Came out 2 days ago now, and so I guess technically it was Future Games. It was like 2 days, from the show to when it was released.
2 days in the future. Yeah.
What'd you like at the show, Dom? Tell me.
Instinction looked great.
What the hell was that? I don't know if I remember that one.
That was the Dino game with the guns.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, you just want a Dino Crisis. That's why.
I do. I just want dinosaurs that are not Jurassic Park. That's all I want. Like,
Exoprimal, baby.
Yeah.
I killed over 2,000 raptors last night yesterday on stream.
They're gonna fall out of portals in the sky.
I don't know about that.
What else?
This just looked fun though, because I like it wasn't even just the dino aesthetic, but it was like the ancient ruins aesthetic that really caught my eye on that one. So
Ninja Panda says remaster or remake it already. Dino Crisis.
That's next. That's next for sure. Lords of the Fallen looked really good too.
Yeah, that one's been hard to like avoid, but I think I'm gonna end up having to buy into that one.
Yeah, I think so too. I watched the trailer for it twice. And then I guess my final recommendation will be Troy's favorite game, Headbangers Rhythm Royale.
Yeah, Troy, why do you hate that game too? Why do you hate everything good and fun? I don't want Starfield. Don't let me explore space on my own timetable. No, I don't want to do that. Play a competitive, fun rhythm game with crazy pigeons headbanging and wearing Fall Guys skins and stuff. No, that looks fun.
Somebody on this show has to hate fun, damn it.
So then what did you like from Future Games?
I liked the Daymare 1994 Sandcastle trailer caught my attention. I don't know that it overly impressed me, but it got me to click on the trailer to watch it a couple of times. And then the Cycle, which was the post-apocalyptic city builder, I'm really interested in that. That looks really cool.
Stray Gods, the role-playing musical, was one of those little things that like looked interesting to me, but I also was like, this is really bizarre. Like, I don't know how much I would be into this, but I like that it exists. Like I don't know if that makes any sense, right? I like that somebody's making something like this, but I feel like it's not for me. It's not for me. And then they showed off, like, they did like a whole Unreal Engine 5 showcase where it was like just not a specific game. They were just like different vistas, demos, some game projects coming from Unreal 5, and that looked freaking incredible.
Yeah.
Freaking incredible.
What about Cuphead 2?
Yeah, I can't remember if I actually beat the first one or not.
Well, it's not actually Cuphead 2. It's what? Enchanted Portals?
Yeah.
I mean, it's basically Cuphead 2.
It's basically Cuphead 2. What was your favorite thing revealed at Totally Not E3, Troy? What is the single title that is a must day one purchase for you besides Starfield?
Oh, probably Star Wars Outlaws will have to be it. Definitely interested in a non-Jedi. Not that I have any problem with Jedi. I don't hate Jedi.
Dude
But I'm
hates
ready. I'm ready for a
everything.
story. I'm ready for a story that doesn't center around them, and they can tell a really unique story outside of
Replacing
sort of the
Jason
Jedi
Winter with
world.
you was like not making a replacement at all. You both hate everything.
Right?
Dom, the single thing that is a day one purchase will absolutely be opened, installed, and booted up day one.
Mortal Kombat 1.
I figured. I'm going Starfield,
And
baby.
probably-
I'm going
And probably
Starfield.
Instinction too.
I'm now on the hype train. Guarded, albeit, but I am on the Starfield hype train. Let's slide over and do games of the week. Episode of Gaming Gumbo here. It's where each of us is going to give you a game. Could be something we've played, are playing, have never played, but think you should on consoles, PC, mobile devices, tabletop games, card games, whatever. And you let us know in the comments who gave the best recommendation. And while you're there, tell us the single title you're most pumped for from any of the game shows over the past week and a half or so. I'm going to go first. I had to do some chores this afternoon, and then I had like 2 hours before the show, so I was like, I'm gonna pull out the Steam Deck and just play something. So I played a little Metroid Dread. I went and played a little Tony Hawk Pro Skater on the PS1, the original, not the PS5 remake. And then I played Lunar Silver Star Story Complete on the PlayStation 1 for the rest of my little relaxation time. And I gotta say, if you like turn-based RPGs and you haven't played it, it's a hell of a one to play. Go play it. Lunar Silver Star Story Complete. That's my game of the week. What do you got, Dom?
I've just been playing a lot of Diablo 4 in my free time. I'm not like going crazy. My character's only level 28, which is ridiculous. I know for some of you,
Jeez,
that's my
you're
highest
behind
level.
me, and I thought I was
Yeah.
going slow.
But I'm going super slow. I'm reading all the dialogue, like listening to everything, all the quests, like all the side quests. Just listening, taking the world in. I'm not trying to rush it in any capacity, and I'm having a blast.
Hey, is it as cosmetic microtransactions that aren't really micro, they're fucking macro, as I'm seeing? Like the
No.
best
Prices are
cosmetics are in
massive.
the
They're
in the cash shop, and they're not cheap.
Yeah, like 20-something bucks.
Yeah, they're definitely not cheap, but they're still cosmetics. They're optional.
They're
Like,
still very ignorable.
price them at whatever
I've
you
managed
want,
to
like-
ignore the shop completely.
yeah. I don't care if you put a horse up there for $100. Like, we could sit here and criticize it all day long, but at the end of the day, no one's twisting your arm. You don't have to buy it.
That's a discussion for a different time, because I think there's psychological forces at play there that are minimized when you take that argument. Troy, what do you got? Game of the week.
I'm going with a tabletop game as usual. I'm going with
that's such a
Zool.
great game. Damn it, you win.
Yeah, a tile laying game. You're drafting tiles. There are rules on how you can place them, and you gain points as you're placing your tiles. A fantastic, especially a really good gateway game. If you're not into the heavy hobby of board games, Azul is a great place to start.
Oh, yeah. Then it'll be like heroin. You'll be buying a board game every 3 days.
I've got a friend who's coming over tonight that he's already got his own little board game shelf. I've been a bad influence.
Oh, he can now take a shelfie. Oh,
and Azul, funny enough, was the very first game I ever played with them.
it's a good game. Damn good game. That's going to do it for us here at Gaming Gumbo. Hope you enjoyed the show. We will be back next week with both the Relic Grind and Gaming Gumbo. No Torchwick after the show today. He's hanging out with some friends now that he's back in town from his first year at college. But Tarkoth will be live later tonight with some Final Fantasy 15. So make sure you're following Twitter. Until next time, Troy, where can everybody find you?
I'm on the socials at Noob Fridge.
Dom.
I mean, down below at It's Zista.
I'm Mike Byrne. You can follow me right there at Magic Man 1, but more importantly, follow at RC Radio, RAIDEO, and you'll know every time we go live with a podcast, Final Fantasy TCG, game streams, and more. Stay safe. We'll see you on the servers.